What's up, YouTube? This is GeoSykes coming at you with a quick Dragunity deck profile. I recently changed up the deck engine a lot. I'm running a different build, a different variant. Um, Essentially, I've just realized I'm probably not going to get my playset of Vajrayanas for a while now. So I decided I'm just going to change the deck up to where it's going to focus on a strict Vajrayana-less build, which is a Tribus build, a Dragunity, let's see if I can find them, Tribus build. I decided to make the deck focus around him and making A-star synchros through him and making the same level 6 synchros with Dragunity Dukes. So yeah, as you can see, 3 Mistletanes. It does get cloggy at 3. You know, you'll get more in hand than you can use, but it does come in handy. And if I ever get a Dragon King, a Tum or whatever it is, Heretic King, I actually would be able to use him just because of the Mistletanes. So yeah, him at 3 essentially makes for constant and consistent A-star synchros. Triple Ducks, triple Legionnaire, your standard winged beast monsters, and only 2 Tribus. You only need 2. Triple Phalanx and double Atlas. What Tribus does is it essentially is a Phalanx on the field for your Mistletoe plays. If you open a Mistletoe and a Tribus, you just summon the Tribus, send the Phalanx to grave, and then tribute the Tribus for Mistletoe, and then you get an inherent +1 by taking a card out of the deck to where you can just do more plays with that. It ends up being a less explosive kind of deck. I can do less plays with it, you know, outside of what I have in my extra deck. Like in my old build, I would able to like play around with my opponent using cards like Misvalid Falcon or Battle Faders or Dandelions or what was that? Or Cerberals. I used to make synchros using those. But this build, it has it's even more of a one-trick horse deck than it was before, because I just used Tribus to get this, and then because I already have the graveyard set up thanks to the Tribus, I just start spamming these guys out and making more plays with those. It ends up being an extremely consistent deck. It's just not as I just feel like it's not as powerful as my old one was, but it's 10 times more consistent and gets out synchros at least every turn. And if it doesn't get out synchro, then I generally do a Legionnaire play. Spells, staple, sable, only 2 MST, that's all you really need. I tested out 3, didn't like it too much. 1 book, 1 mind control. Mind control is amazing in this deck, just because you can have a Phalanx in hand or an Atlas, mind control, and just synchro with whatever your opponent has, or exceed if it's a level 2. The only time it's ever dead is if you mind control level 1. Triple Dragon Arena, triple Terraforming, and double Card of Consonance. You don't run Foolish Burial anymore because Dragunity Tribus is Foolish Burial. I actually did test out an Upstart engine in this deck, and for the most part, I hated it. Upstart Goblin just isn't my card, apparently. Traps, you got your 2 counter trap Dark Bribes. That's all you pretty much need. Triple Compulse, it is amazing in today's meta game, where you can just compulse a rabbit and then your opponent's dead, pretty much just done for the rest of the turn. So yeah, and of course double Bottomless, 1 Mirror Force, and 1 Icarus Attack. I'm hoping to get another one. If I do, then I'll probably switch out either one of the Compulses. I'll either switch out a Compulse or a Mirror Force for an Icarus, just because Icarus is amazing in case if you open up with just Dragunity Tribus and no Mistletanes to pitch it with. So yeah, that's the deck. It's really, really super duper consistent in making A-star synchros thanks to Mistletoe or level 6s. And now let's get the extra deck out of the way. We got your Allied Justice Field Marshal. I took out Decisive Armor just because a friend of mine wanted it, and I just wanted to make room for other stuffs because I now have more options because I can make them more consistently. my standard level 8s and the newest edition, Red Dragon Archfiend. There have been times where I really, really would have loved to have Red Dragon Archfiend and I didn't have it. So now all those times are now dead. Colossal Fighter is just amazing against Chaos Dragons because it's a beat stick they can't get over, and if they do get over it, then it just keeps coming back. So their only out is Raikou and BLS to this, and Chaos Sorcerer. And this guy is just an amazing card. It allows you to pull yourself back up in case you're like dying in the late game. You can just keep swinging to your opponent's cards and gain back a ton of life points. Stardust is a Stardust. It's Dragunity, so you always run it. Black Rose, this is just for really circumstantial times, but it's a Black Rose. It's useful. Level 6s, you got your Gabold, Iron Chain, Urquiza, and a Gaia Knight. I recently added the Urquiza just because I can make it consistently with my Dukes and Phalanxes. So I can make this guy really, really easily. And his effect is not bad. It's Piercer 2100 that keeps gaining power. Gaia Knight is just good against a lot of things. It gets over Logias, it gets over Stardusts, if any deck still uses those anymore. Iron Chain is a troll card. I love it, especially against like Dark Worlds and Rabbit. If I can get this thing out, I just swing. I am very lucky in what I mill with this. Like against a Rabbit player, I one time milled 2 of his Rabbits, and he had already used the last one. Dark Worlds, milling them actually hurts them a lot because you end up milling their discard outlets, so they don't really have anything to do. So they just sit there for a turn, just like, what do I do? And the Gabolg is just an amazing card. It can make itself into a 3,000 plus beat stick really easily, and worse for worse, it can be a 2,500 with Tribus. I do like how it has an extra 2 targets now. And so yeah. And last but not least, my 2 level 5s, Vortex the Whirlwind and a Scarred Warrior. Vortex is now a little better in this deck than Magical Android was, just because you can special summon Tribus with it, which is really, really good. It allows you just actually have a target for this that isn't dead on the field like your Dukes and Legionnaires would be. So it's a really good card and it helps install. And Scarred Warrior is just Scarred Warrior. I love it. This thing has won me so many games where this and a Monster Reborn are generally the only things I use. Like, if they kill this thing and I bring it back with a Monster Reborn, I've won games with just this card alone and Legionnaire plays. And my Exceeds, we got, dropped one. My standard 3-sum over here. If I ever get my hands on a Maestroke, the Jin Symphony dude, I would actually replace Utopia with it, just because I love Maestroke. And of course, if I get a Zen mains, I'll replace the Acid Golem. I love those cards that have to be bounced with Compulse or destroyed, like up to 3 times. I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, that's the deck, you guys. I'm not showing the Shy deck just because it's the same as ever. However, I do have some recommendations for side decks, seeing as I don't really have it on me right now, but electric viruses, if you have them, they are just amazing against anything in the meta deck in the meta game right now, like Heretics and Chaos Dragons, and to a certain extent, Light Sworns, because they run a lot of sorcerers or puppet plants. Speaking of which, puppet plant is also an amazing side deck, especially at 2 or 3. It's good against heroes, Light Sworns, and just a lot of things. And if you can run them, Light Imprisonings and Shadow Imprisonings. Yeah, I'm just proxying them out right here on the with this, just because I don't really feel like having to dig them all out. But trust me, the Imprisoning Mirrors, those things are just murder to any kind of deck, except for Chaos, because you generally don't know, because they can switch between the 2 engines of Dark or Light. So whatever you side in, they could end up siding in the other engine. If that makes sense to you guys. Sorry if it doesn't. But yeah, that's the deck. Tell me what you guys think. I'm really, really, really enjoying it. It all it does all day long is just make super consistent hands that, let's see if I can quickly shuffle out something. Let's see. Alright. Yeah. This is what a general hand looks like. And this is actually good. You would activate the ravine, pitch the card of consonants because you wouldn't need it. You actually wouldn't. Add the tribus, summon the tribus, put the phalanx engrave. Sorry. And then just tribute the tribus to special this, and then make an instant Stardust, and then protect it with some back row. Boom. That is your opening play right there. Stop summons, stop more summons, and destroy back row, and negate stuff with Stardust. Next turn you were drawn to a Dukes. So yeah. See you later, guys. Try to deck out. It may be an old school Dragunity variant. You know, people haven't even used this build since like I want to say like last year when Dragunities became super duper expensive and people had to make jank budget decks. But you know what? It's a deck that works. It really does. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. All right.